Hi. If you want great pronunciation and fluency, there are certain English words that you need to know. Today, we're going to learn how to say and use just one word. Have you ever looked up the word touch in the dictionary? Relatively easy to pronounce with only 3 phonemes, touch. But it has over 10 different meanings, and you'll be amazed by the number of different phrases and uses it has in the English language. So today I'm going to give you a few that I think will be useful. Listen carefully because I'll demonstrate the correct way of saying them so that when you use them in everyday language, they'll sound perfectly natural. So come on! First of all, what is the physical meaning of the word touch? You may of course already know this, but if two things physically touch, then there's no space between them. Or you can physically touch something in a light way, like just touch that app on your phone. But when something touches your emotions, touch takes on a less physical meaning. Try these touch phrases. Using touch to express happiness because of what someone has said. I was really touched when he said how much he loved me. Or to show sympathy. I was really touched when I saw how much he was suffering. You can also feel grateful because someone has been kind to you. I was really touched by the bouquet of flowers he sent me. We associate these feelings with our heart. If someone does something that touches your emotions, you might say, "They touched my heart." The words "really touched my heart" is a good expression to remember and a quick way to show that you were emotionally affected by something. Touch can also be a particular quality that someone can add to a situation. For example, the human touch. Everybody needs a little human touch sometimes. If you like Bruce Springsteen, you might like his song called Human Touch. It's definitely one of my favourites. And what about AI intelligence? Well, that doesn't have a human touch at the moment, but I'm sure they're working on it. There's also a professional touch. For example, send a covering letter. It'll add a professional touch to your application. You can use touch in the negative form too, like this. I never touch meat or dairy products. I'm vegan. Or, don't touch that cake. It's for Ben's birthday. Or, I haven't touched the housework in weeks. The house is filthy. Now look at these touch phrases when they're used as warnings. For example, I wouldn't touch it, or somebody, with a barge pole. This means it's a very bad idea to become involved with something or somebody. Also this one, which could be used as a threat. It means to not hurt or injure someone in even the slightest degree. You had better not touch a hair on her head or I'll call the police. Now for some phrases using touch, often used for people. Be warned, they can be offensive. If you tell someone they're a bit touchy, it means they're being oversensitive, easily upset or irritated. You will probably make them worse just by telling them this. For example, did you lock the door? Yes, of course I did. I'm not stupid. You're a bit touchy. What? How dare you? You can call someone a soft touch. This refers to someone who is easy to control or manipulate. For example, ask John for some money. He's always a soft touch. On the other hand, don't be confused if someone says, you have a soft touch. If you have a soft touch, this is very positive as it means you have a gentle way of handling people. For example, you'll be great as a kindergarten teacher, as you have a really soft touch. The next one is definitely offensive. It's the word touched, or touched in the head. It means to demonstrate some degree of mental instability. Here's an example. She was standing outside the supermarket, ranting and raving. She must have been touched in the head or something. Another great way touch is used is touch with the word lose. This can be used relating to sport. To lose your touch means to lose the skill to do something that you used to do very well. I don't know what's happened to my tennis. I must have lost my touch. In football, you may have heard the phrase, "That's a great first touch." To become a professional footballer, one of the vital skills you'll need is the ability to have a great first touch. Making sloppy touches throughout games and losing possession can lead to someone being taken off. So it's probably no surprise that the majority of footballers have a great first touch. However, don't confuse this with to lose touch with someone. This means that over time, especially unintentionally, you have no further communication with someone. This may have happened to a friend you once knew at school or university. For example, I lost touch with Tina after she moved to Alaska. The last I heard, she was still living out there. You can also lose touch with reality. This means to no longer have a clear understanding of real life. I often think this about members of our government, who are detached from the lives of hard-working, ordinary people. They've lost touch with the real world. Then there's the word contact, which we replace with touch. You may already know them. To be in touch with someone. To be out of touch with someone. To stay in touch with someone. And to put someone in touch with someone. Now, has anyone ever said, "You're a bit touchy-feely"? Well, I hope not. It means to touch and hold people more than is usual, often in a way that makes other people feel uncomfortable. For example, she's one of those touchy-feely people, always putting her hand on your arm while she's talking to you. I don't like that. Maybe you know someone like this. And here are two phrasal verbs you definitely don't want to get confused. To touch something up and touch someone up. To touch something up means to improve something. For example, she touched up her makeup before meeting her boyfriend. But to touch someone up means to touch someone's body in a sexual way, often without their permission. I'll leave an example to your imagination. So be careful how you use these phrasal verbs. And one of my favourites is this idiom, touch and go. If something's touch and go, it's extremely uncertain or risky. It was touch and go after the surgery. We weren't sure he'd survive it. So there we are, and that's just a few of the ways touch is used. To learn more, just take a look at a good dictionary. Write down the phrases and try to use them in conversation. Until next time, love and peace.